Join Director Doug as he spans the globe by sea, by land, and air to bring you the best of Figures in Action!
Finally had a moment to catch up with this young man who's really doing everything and as much as possible humanly, and you are.
My name is David Hahn. I'm one of the 4 board members of Zappcon.
Well, what do you think about this Zappcon 2015?
Oh my gosh, this year's been huge, bigger than last year already. I think that we passed our attendance for all of last year today. We have 30 more exhibitors than last year. We have a lot more special guests, bigger special guests, more panels, a video game room. We really tried to pull out all the stops.
Well, I think it's showing here. We have people everywhere. They're all having a good time. And what are some of the fun things that you've done, or what anything that stands out that you enjoy as personally?
My favorite thing, honestly, now is talking to the exhibitors and seeing how they're doing, and looking for original artwork. That's really fun. But we have 2 really cool, we have a bunch of really cool special guests, but we have 2 really big ones this year. Andrea Libman, who does voices for My Little Pony, and Gigi, I can't remember her last, Gigi Edgley, who plays Chiana on Farscape, which is super cool. And we're also doing we have the Double Clicks. They're doing a concert tonight. That's new, and they're wonderful. Their music's awesome. And we have tomorrow our first full-length feature film showing with a Q&A after called The Walking Deceased.
Wow, it just gets better. And 4 people doing this, you'd think it'd be 400 people getting this together. It's just phenomenal. We wish you all success, and for the years to come, this will only get huger and huger.
Thank you. Yes. Sammy Gonzalez, Sarah Gonzalez, and Jennifer Ward are my fellow board members. They are awesome. We all work so much, and they do things I can't do, and I am so grateful for them. We have a wonderful intern, Spencer Smith, and tons of great volunteers. We really couldn't do it without our volunteers.
Well, Jennifer Ward and go Crazy Squirrel.
Yes. Oh, love Crazy Squirrel.
Still here at Zappcon 2015 and just can't get enough. And I am privileged to talk to
Zap,
tell us about you. We use your pictures everywhere.
Yeah, well, actually, I happened to fill in last minute for the Zap last year. She made the costume. She was the original Zap, but as it turned out, she got a job and she couldn't make it like the week before. So I filled in and they kept me.
And you're Zap. Well, those jobs get in the way, but it's lucky for you.
I absolutely love it. It's fun being Zap. It's fun getting to see everybody, and I'm having a wonderful time.
How long have you been doing cosplay type things?
Actually, being Zap was my first thing.
Well, you're an instant success, and we appreciate your time, and the way you represent this Zappcon 2015 is actually extraordinarily wonderful.
Thank you very much.
You are?
Ron Randall.
Ron Randall, you've got a lot of pictures and exciting things here. Tell us about yourself, if you would.
Well, I'm a comic book artist and writer stationed in Portland, Oregon. And I started working professionally in the early 1980s. Started at DC and Marvel, and did a lot of work through those companies. And then when Dark Horse started up in the mid-1980s, I had just moved back to Portland, where they're based, and I hooked up with them early on, and I got to create and write and draw my own series for them as well. So I've had a long career doing a lot of work in comics.
A lot of enjoyment by a lot of people. Now, people starting up who have talent, which I don't in this arena, that's for sure, what would you give them? Any advice how to start doing this? And when you were a youngster, you probably almost had a natural ability.
I suppose it's hard for me to say how the natural ability that I suppose that I had that was that served me the best was the ability to just keep drawing. And I mean, there's lots of little bits of practical advice or suggestions or guidance that you can offer somebody who wants to do this. But the more I've been at it and observed people coming up doing it, the more I realize that if somebody wants to do this, they will keep doing it and they will do it. And along the way, if they meet an instructor or a mentor or just a peer that has a really good suggestion, that can really help to accelerate the process. But mostly, people that want to keep drawing will find their own way there.
Well, that's excellent. And sure, you're living proof. What kind of do you draw on pencil or paints? What's your specialty?
My specialty, well, I use pencils, and I use a variety of brushes and markers. So penciling and inking, has always been the way I've done it. But within the last half a dozen years, say, I've started to incorporate more digital technology and drawing digitally as well. So I now use a hybrid or a blend of the two, analog and digital.
Well, that's very impressive, and certainly you're really a person that we could looking up to and appreciate and we expect many decades of your creativity to abound.
Well, thank you very much. It's a work of passion. I mean, and the thing that sometimes I'll go in and talk to school kids, and what I wish, I mean, I sort of have come to view it that I didn't go out and make the conscious choice to become a comic book artist. In a lot of ways, the career sort of found me in a way, and because I was just sort of caught up. I think anybody is lucky if they stumble upon some activity that they can just wind up doing for hours and hours and just sort of get lost in the midst of doing it. And then if you can just keep doing that and find a way to turn it into either a long-time hobby or, if you're really lucky, your livelihood, I think that's going to give you a really rich life experience. So that's kind of what I wish for everyone.
Well, we wish you the best, and thank you so much for your time, sir, and coming up here to Fresno.
Thanks very much. It's been great.
Anthony Cecioli of The Way of the Clown.
The Way of the Clown. Tell us about that.
Sure. It's about a planet where clowns are an actual race of beings, and most people don't like clowns, and on this planet they don't like clowns, so they're being wiped out. And the story is about the last clown on this planet being captured and sort of tried for his sins of being a clown.
Now, you've drawn some of these pictures yourself.
Yes. All this is my own artwork.
All is your own artwork. And what medium? It looks like some ink.
Yeah, so I do a lot of ink and watercolor mostly, and a little bit of digital work afterwards.
How long have you been doing this? Since a young child or an older child?
Yeah, definitely started drawing when I was young. I did go to art school.
Where was that?
It was in New Jersey, a small state school, William Patterson University. You go to www.thewayoftheclown.com.
And why don't people like clowns? You ever heard why?
I think because they don't know what's under that makeup. They don't know if it's a good guy or a bad guy.
Well, that would be, I can understand that. But you make everything really good and interesting, and thank you for your time.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
And Sadie Start, now I've seen you were at Comic Crawl.
Yes, wearing the same costume.
And you're a lot of places. Tell us about you and your cosplay interest.
It ranges, but mostly I've done, this is the only anime cosplay that I have. It's Sarah's Victoria from Helsing. Mostly I do Magic the Gathering cosplays. So I have a couple's cosplay with Ronnie, and we did Liliana and Guruk from Magic the Gathering, Avison and Soren from Magic the Gathering, and now we're working on Desolation Angel and Krovax.
And how long have you been doing this?
2 or 3 years.
Is that all?
Yeah.
You just like it was like meant to be.
Oh, my mom's a seamstress, so I've been doing that most of my life. But costuming's new.
Good. So how do you think Zappcon 2015 is?
I think it's pretty awesome. It's exciting to see how much it's growing year to year because we have a much larger amount of vendors and types of vendors in gaming that's included this year, so it's really, really awesome.
Well, with you here, everything is just a little bit better, and it's going to get better. And we look forward to many more years and decades of you.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Catferris from Portland, Oregon.
All the way from Portland, Oregon, with a lot of beautiful works. Tell us about what you do.
Oh, thank you. I am a comic book artist and an illustrator, and I currently am working on a webcomic called The Last Diplomat, and I also am the illustrator for Emily and the Strangers by Dark Horse.
I've heard of Dark Horse.
Good, yeah. They're a really great publisher. It's really a real pleasure to work with them.
How long have you been doing artwork? We're talking about encouraging young people to get in this type of work.
Well, I've been drawing and doing art basically my entire life, and I just never stopped. But I've been working professionally for the last 8 years.
Wow, and so how did you begin?
Oh man, well, I went to the Savannah College of Art and Design for animation and moved back to Portland and ended up instead doing comic books and illustration. My friend had an internship at a comic book studio, and she asked me to come with her some days, and I just kind of ended up falling into that group and getting help from some pros, and they encouraged me and helped me improve my work, and that's kind of how I got started.
Well, you're a professional, and you're encouraging people who are watching us today, and it's so great. Tell me, what's the part of the funnest thing? It all looks like fun. What's the funnest for you?
I think the most fun for me is drawing monsters, and I have a lot of those in my webcomic. There's just something really fun about drawing like crazy, strange creatures.
Well, your creativity comes out. And as far as creativity and expression and letting us know where you are, what's your website, if you would, again?
Oh, sure. My website is catfer.com, and that's CATTIFER.com.
Well, thank you very much for coming down here, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure to be here.
I'm Paige Warren.
Paige Warren, and this is a pretty incredible looking drawing. Tell us about it and what you do.
Oh, thank you very much. This is the original for the official Zappcon poster for 2015. And this was done entirely in ink and watercolor. The final piece is done with digital color. And if you'd like to see that, they actually have a couple copies at the first booth. But this piece here took me the better part of a week. And it was a lot of fun to do because I love ink and watercolor.
Well, that would have taken me a good part of the year and never looked half that good. What are the other things that you've been doing here? You've got a lot of stuff that looks beautiful.
Thank you very much. It's, my first series, Busty Girl Comics, was the series that got me out to Zappcon and got me out to the West Coast, actually, because I'm from Boston. And now I'm working on a new series called Odd Space, which is about 6 artists sharing a warehouse space together in a small town in Massachusetts. And I also have some fan art here today, particularly crossover fan art, because that's what I do for fun.
That's wonderful. Now, what are you looking forward to doing in the future? This is going to take you how long, and where do you go from? You're so young. Have you thought that far ahead?
I have. I'm one of those, I got a 50-year plan.
We'll start with year one.
Well, right now I'm working on a solo show that I have done in Anaheim coming up November 7th and 8th. And it's all about magical girls. It's the Magical Girl Challenge. I'm having a lot of my online fans and readers. I've asked them to give me one word for each category. The first category is a food or animal. The second category is a color or element. And the third category is a weapon or tool. So from the words that they're giving me, I'm designing magical girls off of that. And I've already done a handful of them, and I hope to get about 100 of them for this show.
That's incredible. So how does everybody get a hold of you or contact with you?
Well, I'm on Twitter and Instagram most of the time. My account there is Rampage, RAMPAIGE, Halsey, HALSEY. And I'm also on Facebook, and my email is on all of these as well. And my main website is Paige One Comics, so PAIGEONE comics.com.